Hi, in this tutorial we will learn how to set up your Intel Galileo Gen 2 board to build a temperature and humidity app using ThingWorx. You will need the following hardware: an Intel Galileo Gen 2 board, a 12-volt DC power supply or equivalent battery pack, a solderless breadboard, a micro SD card of at least 1 GB with an SD card adapter, a temperature and humidity sensor HTU21D, 4 male-to-male jumper wires, and an USB-A to micro B cable. This is how the final setup will look. I placed my Intel Galileo on a box for better access to the ports and to protect the circuits on its back. Also notice that I used the Ethernet cable to connect my board to Ethernet. If you want to use wireless and maybe also a battery pack, these are some additional components that you will need. You can find more details about this in the PDF for this video. Our Intel Galileo already has a pre-installed Linux-like operating system, but its functionalities are quite limited due to its tiny size, only 8 MB stored on a built-in flash memory of the Intel Galileo board. Therefore, to enable our IoT project, we'll need to use a more powerful Linux image. Some advantages for booting from a customized SD card image are extended file storage and the possibility to install Wi-Fi drivers to enable Wi-Fi connectivity, for example. In this tutorial, you will use an image that Intel has customized for IoT projects. To install this Linux image on your microSD card, follow the next steps. Download the SD card Linux image R2 file from here. Insert your microSD card into your SD card adapter and then plug it into your PC SD card reader. You should be prompted by your PC that your microSD card has been plugged in, and you will be able to locate it in your computer directory. Note the name of the drive on which the microSD card is on. In my case, it is H. Next, open a command line as an administrator. Go to Start, type CMD in the search field. Then right-click the CMD program and select Run as administrator. Type diskpart.exe in the command prompt that opened. This program will allow you to create a boot partition on your microSD card so that the C programs that you upload on your Intel Galileo will be persistent. In the diskpart command line that you have available, type the following command. Select vol H. Select the drive on which your microSD card is on. In my case, it is H. Clean. Create part primary. Active. Format. Quick label boot time. After the formatting is finished, type exit. Next, locate the archive you previously downloaded. Open it by double-clicking it. Enter the image full Galileo folder and from here, right-click in the window showing the files and choose to extract its content on your microSD card. This can take up to 3 minutes. At the end, you should be able to see the following content when opening your microSD card directory. Make sure you are seeing these files directly in the root of your microSD card, otherwise the Linux image won't be recognized when booting. After this, you can safely eject microSD card. You will use the SD card in a later step to boot from it. We will next install the Arduino IDE for Galileo, which will allow us to upload programs, also called sketches, to your board using an USB-A to micro B cable. Download the Arduino IDE zip file corresponding to your PC operating system from this site. After the download is completed, extract the files to your C drive and make sure there is no space in the path to the IDE files. I have changed the Arduino Windows 104 folder name to Galileo_Arduino to avoid confusing it with other Arduino IDEs for Arduino. To launch the IDE, double-click the Arduino icon. This is how the Arduino environment looks like. You can also right-click the application icon and choose to pin it to your start menu to locate it easier. To be able to boot from our microSD card, we need to first install an USB driver for the board and then update the firmware on the Intel Galileo. This will ensure that our microSD card will be recognized. To be able to upload sketches on the board from the Arduino IDE, we have to connect our Intel Galileo board to our PC using a USB-A to micro B cable. Proceed to the following setup. Make sure your microSD card is not plugged into your Galileo board. First, connect the 12-volt power supply that came with your Galileo board. Wait a few seconds for your USB LED to light up. Then connect the board to the PC with the USB cable. On Windows, when connecting the board to the PC, after a few seconds while Windows will try to install the driver, you will see a message telling you that Windows failed to install it. We will therefore need to install it manually. Open up the Device Manager by going to Start and typing Device Manager. Then locate the gadget serial device under the Other Devices tree. Right-click that and select Update Driver Software. The following window will open. Choose Browse My Computer for driver software. Select Browse and navigate to the Hardware, Arduino, x86 folder within your Arduino Galileo folder that you extracted from the Arduino IDE archive in a previous step. Then click Next. Next, click Install. When the installation will complete, you should be prompted by a Windows has successfully updated your driver software message. Go back to the Device Manager window and check the ports tree. There should be an entry for Galileo. Note on which COM number your Galileo is on. We will use this port when uploading sketches and in the next step updating the firmware. To update the firmware, keep the same setup as before and open up the Arduino IDE. Next, go to Tools, Board and select Intel Galileo Gen 2. Then go to Tools, Serial Port and select the COM number on which your Intel Galileo appeared connected. Next, go to Help and choose Galileo Firmware Update. You will be prompted by the following message. Click OK. You may be prompted by another message asking you if you want to rewrite the existing firmware. Click OK. You will be brought to this window. Wait for the update to finish. We can now proceed to boot from the SD card. First, unplug the USB cable connecting your Intel Galileo board to your PC. Then unplug also the power supply. Insert the microSD card on your Intel Galileo and power up the board. Wait for about 2 minutes so that the board can boot from the SD card and for the USB LED to light up. Then connect the board to your PC with the USB cable once again. After booting from the microSD card in the previous step, we now need to verify that everything is working correctly and that programs can be successfully uploaded to the Galileo board through the Arduino IDE. Follow the next step to upload a sketch that will make the LED labeled L on your board blink. Use the Intel Galileo board setup described in the previous setup for how to boot from the SD card. Open the Arduino IDE. Go to Tools, Board menu and make sure Intel Galileo Gen 2 is selected. Also in Tools, Serial Port, make sure the COM number on which your Intel Galileo board appeared connected in your Device Manager is selected. Now go to File, Examples, Basic, Blink. This will open a program that makes the little LED next to the on LED on your board blink. Wait for the transfer to be completed. Next, you should see the LED on your board starting to blink. We will now connect our HTU21D temperature and humidity sensor to our Intel Galileo board. Follow the next steps. First, unplug the USB cable and then the power supply, and proceed to connecting the HTU21D sensor. This type of sensor has 4 pins: the ground, the 3.3 voltage, the serial data line (SDA), the serial clock line (SCL), that need to be connected to the Intel Galileo. I bought my sensor with already attached male pins, but you may need to solder them manually to the sensor circuit. Place the HTU21D sensor on the solderless breadboard with the description of the pins towards you. Next, connect 1 male-to-male jumper wires on each of the 4 columns corresponding to the sensor's pins. Connect the 3.3 voltage pin of the sensor to the 3.3 voltage pin on the Intel Galileo, the ground pin of the sensor to the ground pin of the Intel Galileo, and the SDA and SCL pins of the sensor to the corresponding pins on the Intel Galileo. Now our temperature and humidity sensor is set up. Next, plug the microSD card in your Intel Galileo microSD card slot. Connect the Ethernet cable. Connect the power supply. Wait for a few seconds so that the USB LED lights up and the board has booted from the SD card. Connect the USB cable between your board and your PC. If you chose to connect your Intel Galileo to a wireless network, the next part of this tutorial will show you how to set it up. If you chose to connect it through an Ethernet cable, you can skip this part and go to the next tutorial, showing you how to upload a program reading temperature and humidity values from a sensor and sending them into ThingWorx. If you have your Intel Galileo board powered up, proceed to unplug it. First the micro USB and then the power supply. Next, you will set up the Wi-Fi card with the half to full adapter and the pair of antennas on your Intel Galileo. This tutorial is done for an A6235 Intel Stentrion Wi-Fi card half mini PCI, which also provides Bluetooth connectivity. Other choices of Wi-Fi card are possible. You can see a list of Wi-Fi cards supported by the Linux kernel by visiting this link. First, slide the half to full adapter under the Wi-Fi card and insert the 2 screws. Turn the Intel Galileo over and insert the disassemble into the PCI connector slot. Next, connect also the pair of antennas. Be careful to connect the main and AUX antenna to the corresponding main and AUX on the Wi-Fi card. Now our physical Wi-Fi setup is complete. To make your Intel Galileo entirely portable, you can use also a battery pack, like the one indicated in the materials listed for this tutorial. We now need to indicate the wireless network we want our Intel Galileo board to connect. And this is done by modifying the network interfaces file on the Intel Galileo and the VPA supplicant.conf file. The first step you need to do is installing the driver for your Wi-Fi card. Download the driver corresponding to your Wi-Fi card from here. Next, copy the archive that you downloaded on your microSD card. To do this, unplug your microSD card from your Intel Galileo board, then use the SD adapter to put it into your PC. Afterwards, simply copy and paste the archive with the Wi-Fi driver directly into your microSD card root directory. Next, unplug it and put it back into your Intel Galileo board. To install the driver, you will need to first connect remotely to your board using an SSH client like PuTTY. To To find out your Intel Galileo board IP, follow the next steps. Keep the Wi-Fi card that you previously set up and power up your board. Plug in also the Ethernet cable so that your board would be assigned an IP address on your Ethernet interface 80H0. Connect it through USB to your computer so that you can upload a sketch which will print your 80H0 IP address to the serial monitor. Open the Arduino IDE for Intel Galileo and copy the following lines of code into the loop function. Before pressing on the upload button, make sure you have Intel Galileo Gen 2 selected under Tools, Board, and the port number on which your board is connected under Tools, Serial Port. After you uploaded the sketch, go to Tools, Serial Monitor. Uncheck the Auto Scroll checkbox and copy your 80H0 IP. Next, open PuTTY and enter this IP address. You can also name this configuration and save it, so that you can load it at a later time. Click Open. You will be asked if you are sure you want to proceed with the connection. Click Yes and enter root as username. No password is required. Next, copy and paste the following commands from the PDF for this video. This will extract the archive for the driver and copy it into the lib firmware folder on your Intel Galileo. If necessary, replace the name of the archive containing your Wi-Fi driver with the one that you copied on your microSD card. Next, run the following command to configure the connection to a wireless network. This command will write in the ATC VPA supplicant conf file, replace my Wi-Fi with the name of your wireless network, for example PTC Wi-Fi. Type your password, then type IOF to close the file. Next, enter the following command to open your network interfaces file in edit mode. Place your cursor under the line Wireless Interfaces. Type E and press enter so you can edit before the cursor position. Press the up arrow and type Auto VLAN 0 above this line. Press Escape on your keyboard to enter the command mode of the VI editor and type Big ZZ. This will save the changes and close the file. Congratulations, you have completed this tutorial on connecting your board to a Wi-Fi network. You can proceed to the next tutorial, how to read temperature and humidity from HDU to 1D sensor using ThingWorx CSDK for Intel Galileo.